Hi, what are you doing?
Nothing. I have a class, but I'm but I don't have energy to go because I I have got dumped by my girlfriend.
Oh, that's tough. Do you know about the SHCC?
SSCC?
Yeah,
What?
we have SHCC where you can get help if you are struggling with mental health issues.
Oh, I have been in 4 years, but I didn't know that.
About SFPC. So have you come across this situation? Actually, let's take a vote. How many of you do you know? How many of you know about SACC, the Student Advice and Communication Center? Okay. You guys are in the minority because a lot of people don't know that it exists. And even if people know, oh, we have something about mental health center, they don't know the location. And a lot of students think, what if they don't have English counselors? Or what if the counselor doesn't speak Chinese? And some people are, shy because I don't want to, because of the stigma of mental health, which we also know. Yes, so.
So why don't you go to gym? Some studies show that the light exercise can improve your mental and physical health. So let's go with me.
Yeah, I know, but the university gym is too far and so crowded. I want my own close gym.
Oh my God, the gym is so far. The location, a lot of people don't know because, in the previous presentation, somebody asked about the gym and our student was like, I don't know where it is. And even if people don't know, it's really, really far and honestly quite inconvenient. And we all have time constraints. We have to go to classes, we have to cook food. We don't have the cafeteria which serves vegetarian options, in the problem another team mentioned. So we have the time crunch and it's so crowded. And what if you just want to use the dumbbells and other people are using the heavier weights and you're like, so shy, I just want to use a small dumbbell. Do I have to go to the big gym?
What about you? How are you doing?
I'm feeling lonely, actually. It's hard for me to talk to new people. And I also worried about my future plan and job.
Okay. Why don't you participate in omotenashi events? And there is also a career helps place. You can use it.
Maintenance event? What is that?
Do you guys know Omotenashi events? Probably not. So they are a student-led organization which conducts a lot of interactive events. So there was an event in the Student Communication Center, Nagashi Somin. It's a long bamboo line which runs water and then the noodles flow and so you can pick up the cold noodles. There is also a group called HICC, the Hokkaido International Exchange and Cooperation Center. They organize Christmas activities, just a lot of activities. But the information about these events, nobody knows. So we want to create a space where everybody can enjoy, communicate, and also for students who just want a quiet place. I don't want anybody to watch me all the time. Somewhere to sleep. Yes, who wants to sleep on the campus when it's the long night and you have to study? So we have come up with, we have we are here to answer this question. How can Hokkaido University better support the mental health and well-being of all of its students?
So for the representation, I will explain about mental health and well-being. Well-being is very important things. Do you know well-being? First, mental health includes emotional, psychological, and social well-being. And well-being is a complex combination of person's physical, mental, emotional, and social health factors. Well-being is, and as you can see the graph, well-being has three elements. One is mental health and second is physical health, and third is social connection. Physical health is like taking care of your body, exercise regularly, eating healthy food, and sleeping enough time is very important. And social connection is like relationships or connection with other people. This is important things. And so this data is top stress in college. Harmony Health IT company survived 800 university students. So this five is this five is factor. I self-care and academics, social life. This three is we think Hokudai need to the power. So we team aim is making a better mental health and well-being support system. So system for Hokkaido University student. We think, for example, make new facilities. Okay, so our best proposed solution was to have a Hakudai Wellness Center. It is essentially a recreational center for students where they can unwind their day, hang out, and also seek for mental health. So it is essentially a one-stop solution where we tackle all the three aspects that have just been covered earlier. So in detail, I will go through the mental health solution. We'll have a biophilic design. In other words, it's incorporating nature to the building that is such as trees and natural light, and mindful box if you would like some peace and just space where you can meditate, as well as counseling service. And for the physical aspect part, we would like to have a napping room, gym, shower, and a healthy cafe, which would also include a vegan and vegetarian option. And as for the social connection part, we'll have a hangout space for you to hang out with your friends, as well as a game room where you feel so stressed out with your research and schoolwork. So yeah. And I would also like to briefly introduce that we would also like to emphasize on information center, because the main thing about the existing solutions in Hakuda is that students lack knowledge of like the location and just essentially their existence. So we would also like to have information center where the staff can spread information about all the existing solutions that is in the Hakuda Wellness Center. So yeah, that's all. Thank you. So good afternoon, everyone. We are Team 2, and our project is how Hokkaido University can share research or knowledge more effectively to benefit local community. And you may probably say, well, just share the knowledge, right? But do you have any idea how to do it? Can you share with us any thoughts? Okay. So I will introduce the contents. The first, Yushu will explain the importance of the topic. Why do we have to solve this problem? The next, Sota will explain the target community, because local community is very big and we have to narrow. Next, Mizuki will introduce our first complication and solution, the communicational website. And after that, Kohei and Sota will explain the second solution, the face-to-face events. And last but not least, I will try to explain the contributions of each of us.
There are three reasons why we should consider this topic. First, to get interested in social environment issues for citizens. There are many problems that scientists or professionals can ask, but they can't answer. In the case of global warming, scientists can estimate the emission of CO2, but they can't answer how to reduce it. Second, to clear up misunderstandings. For example, many people think addiction is not disease, but actually it changed the system of brain. To solve such a misunderstandings, we can encourage societies to change the behavior to reduce to reduce prejudice. And third, to provide basic understanding of fundamental science, like cosmic science. There are some fields that can't immediately benefit society, but it is important for long-term development of society or science. To solve these problems, we think interactive communication is important because one-way communication is sometimes boring, and it's not only the problem of citizens, but also the problem of scientists because they have to know the social demands.
Next about the targets. So as you can see, there are a lot of kinds of local communities. So we can focus on only students. Students about junior and high school students. So why we choose these students? Because there are one reason a lot of students are interested in social science fields, and also students have to be responsible for future activities.
Okay, so let's share our idea. So the first, when we decide the target for the students, we have the big problem that they are too busy to join the face-to-face event. So they need flexible access from their school or home. So we propose that to create the communication hub. The example of the communication hub, the first one is we will make a website. In the website, we will have the live streaming. In the live streaming, we have the lecture of our study and also the student camera that during the experiment and the chatting with a friend, going to the cafeteria. And also in the website, we will have the question form and the student can ask a question. And there also we use social media. We can advertise our website and we can make a video and that they attract to our website.
But we can't spread our research satisfactorily only in the online events. First, people can experience very limited activities on the internet. There are a lot of realization from the experience. Second, only gaining knowledge is not so fun. People need the chance of using the knowledge and comparing the knowledge with real world. So, as a solution, we propose face-to-face events, mainly for the participants of in the online events. As the example of face-to-face event, we came up with Open University event. We introduced the three contents of Open University events. First, we introduced open lecture. In this event, participants can learn the lectures about the latest research and experience simple experiments with professors and students in Hokkaido University. Second, we propose a discussion event. In this event, people can discuss the topic they are interested in. And the topic of discussion can be decided to by the participants.
The third one is called campus tours. The content is getting in touch with nature, people, and the culture of Hokkaido University. We called a nature tour at HU. HU means Hokkaido University. The purpose is learning and understanding of importance of the nature and also how human activities impact to the nature.
So last but not least, I will explain the contributions of each member. So me, I'm Eri, and I'm studying tourism, and my previous bachelor degree I studied international relations. So first I will help with promotion and networking, and also plan the interactive campus tours. And one more important thing that we wanted to include in this presentation, but because we have the limitation of the time, we want not also conduct the nature tours, but a lot of other kinds of tours. For example, there's a multicultural, people-faced focus tours where like students can get into the touch with the international people too, international students. Next is Yushi. He studies cosmic science, and he also studies science communication. That is why he can facilitate the students' discussions, and also he can participate in the open lecture and show his experiments. Sota, he studies environmental science, and as he already mentioned, he can do assist in the campus nature tour, and also help with the networking, connecting to the famous Hokudai people, and also participate on the open lecture. Kohei, he will be our IT specialist, so he will do the main job with creating the website, and also will show the process of simulation of the lecture. And finally, Mizuki, she's studying pharmaceutical sciences. So she will be our content manager. She will do a lot of experience in the social network and will stream it on the platform and in the SNS, and also participate in all open lectures. So thank you for your attention.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. So today our group gonna explain or present enhancing Hokkaido University on-campus food system. And today we are coming up with the ideas of co-food society. So this is the problem. Like, have you ever feel like our cafeteria have a lack of diverse food within this year or maybe 6 months, right? Or yeah. That's 6 years. Yeah, 6 years even. So, and the coop even didn't even change it. So, as actually our what we are trying to do, like we're looking after what actually university intend to do. Like actually Hokkaido University are running through the sustainable declaration about the SDGs. Like they support the sustainable like improvements in our campuses, and cafeteria actually plays as a central role in a student well-being, community interaction, and also sustainable practices.
So we think there are three types of programs. First, health. Second, sustainability. Third, diversity. First, health programs is that there are not abundant information such as transparent nutrition information and healthy options information. Second, sustainability programs is that there are unsustainable practices such as food miles and waste. Third is diversities. That this is the restricted meals selection, and that is culturally diverse meals under representation. So we think there's this slide shows objectives. And first, health is we should provide more information such as healthy options and nutritional information. And sustainability is more decreasing food waste and footprint miles, and diversity is that we should diversify the menu respectively, considering the preference of the students.
And therefore, for all the problems, we came up with this solution, which is the Co-op Food Society, which is a collaboration with the Co-op or Hokkaido Seikyo. And previously, Co-op doesn't have any organization like this that organizes the menu or manage the food and cafeteria. So we think it'd be a great opportunity to do that. And the values of Co-op Food Society is to provide healthier options balanced nutrition, also culturally diverse menus that includes such as many people of dietary restrictions and also sustainable practices. And we built these values from the 4 points of SDGs as listed here. We have, from this Co-op Food Society, we have several projects that will be introduced later.
So the first thing that we decided to do as like our first mission is to diversify the menu, which hasn't been probably touched for at least for the past 9 months I've been here. I have just seen like 2 options for halal and that's it. Nothing else is being changed. So we decided to first incorporate halal, vegan, and international options on the lineup. You could ask why international, because we want to be inclusive and diversified. So why? Because the students have certain restrictions, like people that come from Muslim background, but vegans and vegetarians and pescatarians and etc. And one thing to remember is that even convenience stores do not provide enough options for such people. And so as our steps, so the first thing that we're going to do is to conduct the survey with the students. We're going to ask, so we're going to just provide them like these 3 things, right? So halal, vegetarian, and international. So decide what food we could include in it. And then we are going to decide on the monthly menu. That's going to be for a whole semester, and every semester we're going to run it the same thing. We hand in the recipes to the cooks. Then we incorporate the information in the menu, and we just go again and again. So that's basically a whole cycle. And the second thing is?
Secondly is collaborating with local farmers. Here is our steps. At the first, we get in touch with the farmers and then propose workshop about health and seasonal consumption and so on with local and international students. So this project related health and sustainability, also diversity. So, and then conduct exchange event, and then after that, we will plan the future relationship with the farmers by scheduling another event.
Okay, so this one is the last long-term plan. So as an architect, from my perspective, and also for creating the areas, not only like creating healthy environment, is not only about our mind, our body, but also our minds. And to make it sustainable as possible, we didn't want to like create waste from the food, like we create the diversity. That's the problem, right? So we are trying to put more people coming to cafeteria. So that's why, like, to inviting them, we create this kind of ideas that maybe later in the future, like 3 or 6 or 5 years, could be as a part that student could achieve later. So that is like the interpretation. And so maybe next, did you? Yeah, this one is like you see, right? Where cafeteria in the night is lack of light. So this one is more time to like inviting people more to go in here.
Here is a contribution. We can do it. Please check this, right? On my contribution, I can create information about sustainable food system because I'm graduate student of food resources.
And I'm from biochemistry, so I can ensure balanced and healthy meals and also provide more nutritional information.
Mine is architecture, so I designing the future developments.
My contribution is to connect to local farmers because of the, I don't know, my specialty in agriculture.
And I will be responsible for creating the surveys and with the deadlines. And of course, this is not everything what we wanted to mention, but since we have some time limitations, there is another one, another like well-planned version of this one, but we're not going to present it now. So, and the last one is what we eat shapes how we live, learn, and connect. So let's work together towards better food. Yeah, thank you.
Good evening. We are from Team 4 and we'll talk about improving accessibility on campus during winter. Our topic is how can Hokkaido University campus become more accessible and inclusive for students and staff with diverse physical or sensory needs? So why should we address this problem? The first reason is it is important for everyone to live comfortable at Hokkaido University, and diversity sometimes brings new perspectives. So we should improve our campus accessibility and attract staff and students of many backgrounds. This is the station of Hokkaido University Sapporo campus. Here is an area of Sapporo campus. It is equal to 38 times area of Tokyo Dome. I think so. It is difficult to move in our campus, especially for people with disabilities.
Okay. Why specific on winter? What the problem is? First, we need to talk that Sapporo is one of the snowiest cities in the world. With its unique geographical location, the annual snowfall in Sapporo is about 400 to 500 centimeters or even higher. With this huge amount of snow in the populated areas, the problem arises. When the snow falls onto the walkway and people walk on it, the snow is packed and even become ice after that. Also, the changing of the temperature in each day can melt it and refreeze the snow, change the snow into ice. And these two combined can create like an uneven and slippery surface. With this kind of surface, even the people without disability as myself consider it hard to walk. So for people with disability, it's even harder. For example, the tactile flooring for blind people is covered under the snow. And for the wheelchair user, the slippery can be like hard to control and can stuck into the snow pile. So someone may think, then we can just eliminate the snow. However, it's almost impossible to do because the snow removal costs a lot of money. For example, the Sapporo city spend 20.4 billion yen per winter just for the remove the snow. It also requires a lot of energy, and despite all the efforts, cities still fill with snow anyway. So imagine how big the Hokkaido campus is, how many energy, money, and effort required to eliminate all the snow. So we need another solution for improving our accessibility.
So, as we mentioned, within the university, there are different mobility problems and they come in different shapes and forms. So for example, between home and school, some people live quite far from the campus, and also there are road obstructions with the heavy snow.
And then when you get inside the university, you might have to go between faculties. And this is a huge campus with uneven roads. This is ice. And even within one faculty, sometimes you have to transfer between buildings. And snow compacts at the building entrances, as Sui mentioned earlier. And all of these together make it very inconvenient to come to school in winter, even as an abled person. I actually took all these photos because I was so annoyed. Now imagine if you have a hard time moving as it is, and you have to deal with this on top. And because there's so many aspects to the difficulties of movement, we need multifaceted solutions as well. And what we are looking at is either adding infrastructure or improving the infrastructure we already have to kind of address these different kinds of mobility problems. And that's what my group mates will explain.
First solution is making buses accessible to people with disabilities. We have some problems. The person who can use the bus is limited. Only teachers and staff can use the campus bus. And also, the buses only stop at faculty buildings on campus. So it is difficult for people with disabilities to come to Hokkaido University. The last one is the bus is not suitable for people with disabilities. The buses have steps, which make it difficult for people with disabilities to get on the bus. Here is our solution. People with disabilities also can use the bus. And the buses will stop at Sapporo station, so it is easier for people with disabilities to commute. And our bus is non-step buses, so the people with disabilities, can use the bus without problems.
Yeah. Yes, and the next solution is tunnel passes. Well, we have different type of tunnel passes. The first type is the permanent passes, which is just the corridors between two buildings. For the good side, it is very stable and safe because it used the similar materials that was built as the building was. And some can be very beautiful because I saw some architecture, they use this middle air tunnels as some like very, very beautiful connections. And for disadvantages, well, it has a higher cost because you need to dig two holes between two buildings and hang in the air and build the whole corridor. And sometimes it could be obstacles for automobiles because as you can see, imagine a really long distance between two buildings and two faculties, and you're going to build this tunnel. It needs some pillars that hold this, so it could be somehow obstacle for the automobiles traveling in the campus, especially like the bus. And the second tab is the temporary pass. So we can use the plastic walls and the arrow bones, something like that. For the good side, it has the lower cost and it's easy to remove after snow and assemble because it just like that in real life. For disadvantages, it's weaker with the heavy snow because it might be easily broke by the snow and somehow it's delicate. If someone using a knife to cut through it, it can just easily broken. I mean, no one will do that, but somehow, yeah.
Okay, and just to sum up everything that we've discussed so far, there's a dire situation where people with disabilities during winter experience several mobility problems. And our proposed solutions, just some of our solutions, are that first have buses that provide transportation within campus and also between Sapporo station and campus. And the second is to have these tunnel passes that could be either permanent or temporary depending on what's needed. Now, as we mentioned earlier, this problem for people with disabilities during winter is very complex and has a lot of different aspects. So So this is by far not the only solutions that people would need, but it is a step. And we need to start taking steps to make the campus more accessible. So let's work together to make a more accessible campus. Thank you for listening. We'll take questions.